All right, so here's my cluster update. I took out this old cluster, which, like I said 100,074 miles when I got it. Now it was on like 100,000 and something. I don't remember. Anyway, so here we are. We're in the car. I just got the new cluster put in. I calculated that mileage for 180,000. It's showing me 179,736. And we're gonna do a little boring scan action. All the reminders are coming up, like oil change and all that stuff. Whatever was stored in that old cluster, like whatever settings for parking lights and this and that, all those other things, they're still going to be stored in there. So the only thing we change is the mileage out. So let's see if we can check the cluster, make sure everything's working, or let's read what it says. Odometer reading. Remember, it stores mileage in the ECM and it calculates it in the cluster. So even if you put a new cluster in, you can still look up what the actual mileage is on the vehicle. Interestingly enough, it's giving me kilometers. Thanks a lot for that. Good luck on me translating that value. Let's go and try and do this check. The VIN and the odometer. At some point I'll calculate those miles. Not going to do it right now, which is weird because usually this will read in mileage. It usually won't give me kilometers. And even up there, it's showing it in miles, not kilometers. So I don't know why this thing is telling me 289,000 kilometers. Unless it's just reading from the odometer itself, not the ECM. So we'll check on that. Should I bore you with all this? Or pause it until it's done? Yeah, it's moving along. Move along, move along, move along. So I think this will show me all the modules in the car. Let's find out. Don't really remember. Don't do this that much. Yeah, okay. So there's our actual VIN. Transmission matches, that matches, airbag matches. Yeah, so now the cluster matches because I added the VIN to the cluster. So that's outstanding. The odometer check. Now, here's where we go. We have 179,809, the central gateway. That's what we just programmed in there. And the engine control module showing 897. So I do have a little bit more. 79. Oof. God, math is hard early in the morning. If I take 9 away from 97, I'm at 88. So, I mean, realistically, the truck has 88 more miles than it's actually showing on the cluster. So, I mean, I'm not going to pull it all out and pull the chip out and do all that over again for 88 miles. That would be ridiculous. But I'll show you a cool thing with the cluster here in a second. Let me go here. Let me go back to hot functions. Let me go back to, let me remember. Oh no, I want body control, body control, body control. Where's my body control module? Hold that thought, be right back. I'm just gonna go back to manual because that's a little bit easier since I'm old and slow. Throw the cigarette out, go to hot functions. I still have body module in here. Why is that? I'm losing my mind. Hold on. In all my wisdom, I was thinking diagnosis just scanned, didn't take me there. But we're going to scan it first, just for the sake of scanning everything. This won't take long, maybe 30 seconds. Let's see. Fault in the gateway, fault in that, fault in that. Let's report it. Let's see what we got. So we have numbers. Engine control pending, cylinder misfire, pending code misfire in the cylinder. That's for me turning the engine on and off and doing onset there. Don't worry about that. This run start input circuit. That's because I have an aftermarket auto start in here, that Fortin remote start. So that's always going to tell me that my ignition circuit is whatever. Let's see, and that's it. Satellite antenna performance, but hey, I don't have satellite radio. Sorry, I'm poor like that. So yeah, pretty much here, we ain't got nothing to worry about. So we'll wipe those. We'll clear out that. That gateway's still going to show, because like I said, that 3-button, whatever, Fortin remote start is in here underneath the thingy. Which is a good remote start if you don't have one. The Fortin works. I changed all the modules in here and the key modules and everything for the remote start, but I can't get my remote start to work. At least the factory remote start. I put the antenna in, I put the hinge pin in, I put the software in to change all that, and it just does me no good. So anyway, back to what I was going to show you. Here in the body control module, we can go to the instrument cluster, and we can make everything go nuts in there. So we can do a system check, and we can do gauge tests, and we can do tachometer. Click OK. There's your tachometer moving. Press OK to select another gauge. Let's go to the speedometer. OK. There's our speedometer moving. We can go to fuel gauge. OK. Fuel gauge dropped. Fuel gauge come up. We can go to temperature gauge because everybody wants to know if it's overheating. That works. OK. We can escape out of that, and then we can go do the Christmas tree. You'll like the Christmas tree. So that's the Christmas tree. Maybe I should get the fucking sticker off of here. But the reason why I first replaced my cluster is because the airbag light was on for a while and it burnt out in the cluster, so then I couldn't tell if I had some kind of airbag issue, whatever. So let me see, we got the tow haul, the 4-low, the check engine lights work, the signals are working, the security key screen is working, all the gauges working. Yeah, so everything lights up. So yeah, I'm a happy kid. And mileage wise, in the hex, I did have to put that hex in reverse like I showed in my first video for the mileage to come up correctly. And divide it by 32. Thanks for sticking in for another boring video. Now I have to put everything back together. Joy!